This is ABC7 News at 6. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Haley has the night off. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news tonight at 6, a memorial has been set up for the victims in a deadly Englewood car crash. 4 young men were killed when their car struck another vehicle and then caught fire. ABC7's Christopher Brantley has more from Englewood.
Good evening. Throughout the day, this memorial has grown as those who knew them come to remember them. The grief was clear in all the faces of those who stopped by on Monday.
He's one of my closest brothers. I've always done everything with him.
On Monday, we learned the names: Keith, Dustin, Austin, and Billy. Jesse Solomon is Billy's brother.
I love you. Miss you. Wish it wasn't you. Definitely don't wish it was anybody else, but just don't want it to be you.
The 4 young men ranged in age from 20 to 25. They were driving a 2004 Audi about 3:30 Sunday morning.
Unfortunately, that vehicle that was traveling on Rosemont ran the stop sign and collided with that SUV.
The Audi crashed into a 2010 Chevy Tahoe, injuring the family of 5 inside. The Audi then caught fire.
When that collision occurred, Vehicle 1 became engulfed in flames, and unfortunately, none of the 4 people in that vehicle were able to escape.
The family of 5 were taken to a nearby hospital where they are recovering. The family and friends of the young men are struggling to understand how this could have happened. As people continue to gather out here to remember those who died in this crash, the Florida Highway Patrol is continuing their investigation. In Englewood, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Christopher, thank you. The Florida Department of Transportation is lowering the speed limit on a deadly stretch of road near Siesta Drive and Heigl Avenue on Siesta Key. In the last 5 years, there have been 180 accidents in this 2-mile stretch of road between Osprey Avenue and Shell Beach. After numerous resident complaints, FDOT decided to reduce the speed limit leading up to the sharp turn from 40 miles an hour to 30. The speed limit for the curve will remain 25 miles an hour.
We're hoping, while this is a great first step, that there are more steps to come, because we still have a ways to go, we feel. We have an ask list, and we're in the middle of a cordial conversation with the FDOT. They've been very responsive. We're grateful for that.
It will take about 2 weeks until the speed limit change goes into effect as FDOT works to replace those speed limit signs. Time to get a check on our weather right now with meteorologist Steve Newman, who's in for Bob tonight. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Scott. If you've been lucky enough to get a shower over your head, you could have had up to a ½ inch of rain from some of these storms. And there are typical summertime storms all across the Sunshine State this afternoon. Some of them particularly heavy in the heart of Florida. Especially around Orlando. Looks like one right over Tampa Bay, just to the northwest of Manatee County. And there's another one trying to pop up around Warm Mineral Springs to Englewood. That's just been developing in the last half hour or so, but they're on the general decline for the rest of tonight. Here's our futurecast showing it's a little overblown, but you can see overnight things clear out. Winds become offshore, and it's fairly mild right on through the overnight hours, but it's going to be another hot one tomorrow. I'll have the complete forecast for your 4th of July coming up in a few minutes. Scott?
All right, Steve, thank you. A redevelopment effort is in the works for a busy stretch of the Suncoast. Plans to transform Sarasota's North Trail may include an apartment complex and the popular Starbucks coffee chain. Just recently, Benderson Development in the city made the next move in building that coffee shop just south of the Rainling College campus. Chairman of the North Trail Redevelopment Partnership, Jay Patel, says the national chain has been looking for a spot in that area for the past decade.
It's a very good news that Starbucks has shown some confidence in the trail, and we hope that others will follow.
City's currently waiting on revised plans from Benderson Development in order to finalize that project. Even before tomorrow night's big fireworks shows, people are sending store-bought fireworks into the air in neighborhoods, but if not used properly, it could result in emergency calls. Every year, firefighters are called to more than 100 incidents related to the improper use of fireworks. Some safety precautions you can take advantage of include not giving sparklers to young children. Also keep water and a fire extinguisher nearby any fireworks at all times. The State Fire Marshal's office says the best way to enjoy fireworks is to see them in public.
There are a number of great fireworks shows out there that counties and governments and different organizations put on, and we absolutely 100% recommend if you want to see a great fireworks show, leave it up to the professionals.
Florida law limits the sale of sparklers and fountains and bottle rockets, Roman candles, and other airborne fireworks are banned altogether. Specific rules about where fireworks can be shot off vary from county to county. As you head to the beaches on Anna Maria Island this 4th of July, there are some very important rules to keep in mind. Beach rules and regulations for the island include no fireworks, no grills, alcohol, glass, pets, or no bikes. First-time offenders face a $75 fine. Holmes Beach police say they will be beefing up their patrols over the 4th of July holiday.
We have extra guys working beach patrol for the holidays. We also have the sheriff's office out. They have 2 deputies out on horses, and there's also another group of guys for crowd control.
Another thing to keep in mind as you celebrate the 4th on Anna Maria Island, there's a noise ordinance in place from 10 p.m. until 7 a.m. And preparations for one of the biggest fireworks displays on the Suncoast also taking place this morning at Siesta Key Beach. The 27th annual 4th of July fireworks display will be lighting up the skies tomorrow night. It starts at 9 o'clock if weather permits. Best viewing anywhere south and along Crescent Beach, out on the Gulf in a boat, of course, or from the Intracoastal Waterway. The show is free. Also, the 4th of July Festival along the Manatee River in Palmetto is planning a fireworks display around that same time. And you can get a full list of the 4th of July events here in the Suncoast by going to our website, mysuncoast.com. There's fun where you live for sure. Still to come in your Suncoast news, executions in Florida are ready to start up again when Florida's governor has ordered them to resume. But first, how the Sarasota Youth Sailing Program is working to make an international name for itself. That story coming up.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Suncoast athletes continue to dominate, this time the sport of sailing. ABC7's Bo Beth shows us the Sarasota youth sailing teams, which are currently among the best in the world.
The Suncoast has long been a place to enjoy the water, but now Sarasota Youth Sailing wants to take things to another level.
We're doing a really good job of trying to get our name out there and show people that sailing is here and you can do it.
Alana O'Reilly is the executive director at Sarasota Youth Sailing, and she isn't exaggerating when she says the organization is working really hard to differentiate themselves. In fact, several of their sailors recently returned from the U.S. Sailing Championship, and they not only brought back trophies, but they will advance to the next competition.
We went to Texas, which we had to qualify with our resumes just to get there, and because we won first place there, we are now being sent to China to represent Team USA in the youth world.
Dylan Hines and Mark Bronsvold beat out 14 other teams during their 4-day regatta, but they aren't the only Sarasota youth sailors being honored.
We went to Bermuda and we were representing our country at one of the biggest sailing events in the world, and we got to sail in the halftime show on TV and in front of a huge audience, which is really cool.
It was really amazing to be sailing in the same spot as the best sailors in the world, and it was really, really cool to see the crowd and everyone cheering for us.
J.J. Smith and Bryce Tone were among the 7 selected out of 85 sailors who were vying for a spot. But regardless of the regatta or competition, SYS students continue to dominate. Still, they tell ABC7 none of their success would be possible if it weren't for their coaches.
Sarasota is kind of a special place for that because nowhere else do they really have like such a well set up place for a very high pedigree of sailors.
In addition, several of the Sarasota youth sailors will be working to qualify for the Youth Olympics. Bo Beth Yates, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thanks, Bo Beth. When we come back, Steve will have another look at our forecast for the 4th of July and beyond.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
I am powerful beyond my wildest imagination.
I will define my future.
I will keep challenging myself to improve.
Because I am a future leader of this great nation.
I will make a difference in my community.
I will not settle for simply chasing my dreams, I will achieve them.
Because I was given a chance.
An opportunity.
At Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America.
The ultimate leadership experience.
Join us. We'll build a new future together.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. Brought to you by Batteries Plus, the Florida Lottery, and Sarasota Glass and Mirror.
Start your day with a new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Well, some people got a little bit of rain today, others did not. It was kind of hit and miss, wasn't it?
And if you missed it, it is just humid. It's just thick. You
That's what they left behind.
Chop with a machete the atmosphere right now across Florida. If you take a look at our Lakewood Ranch webcam, there's one of the showers. If you lived in Lakewood Ranch up to Parrish, you got a good dousing. Around the airport, we got a good dousing around 11:30 to noon today. But toward the end of the sequence, a little parting of the clouds there, little blue skies coming in. It should be a very nice evening, although it is humid. 88, the current temperature at the airport, dew point 77, which is like jungle tropical levels. Our humidity 70% with a west wind at 7 miles an hour. And across the state, we did get some rain cooling. That's what those yellows are about. Orlando only 71, it was 76. It was 76 at Daytona last hour. They warmed up to 81. And across our viewing area, temperatures ranging from 87. This is the air temperature, but factor in the humidity, feels like 101 at Longboat Key, 100 at Siesta, Sarasota, Venice, 101 in Bradenton, 99 at Arcadia. Hopefully it'll cool off a little as the evening goes on. These are the showers that produce the rain cooling in the heart of Florida, and you can see they are dissipating, although there's one cell approaching the Golden Gate, the Sunshine Skyway, and it could cause some problems in the next hour or so. And another cell beginning to form down in southern Sarasota County, Charlotte County, between Northport and Inglewood. I think Inglewood could get a dousing of this before it eventually passes offshore closer to 7 o'clock. Now the tropics are beginning to heat up. Things are changing. We're into the hurricane season, but so far we haven't had anything significant. But we do have an easterly wave that has blown off the coast of Africa, and it is right now in a position with favorable conditions for developing, but it's almost a week away, or over a week away actually, from causing any problems should it aim toward North America. So we'll keep an eye on that. The Caribbean right now remains quiet, and the Gulf of Mexico is quiet as well, but the water temperature as we move into June and July, right now it is warming up. Gulf water temperatures in the heart of the Gulf of Mexico into the mid and upper 80s. Back where that tropical wave is trying to get us act together, minimal heat, about 80 degrees out there, but it should be enough to get this thing going. If we look at the pressure wind forecast between now and next Sunday, you can see this tropical wave perhaps becoming a tropical depression, tropical storm, not quite a tropical storm, but you can see the wind speeds increasing as it moves up toward North America, but at the end of this sequence heading more toward Bermuda. The last couple of runs headed a little farther south, so this bears watching, and the model from run to run has been varying quite a bit. So I just want to get your attention to that, something we'll be looking at very closely in the weather office for the next week. High pressure continues in control of us as we have afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms as typical for this time of year. Less of a chance tomorrow for the 4th of July. At 9 o'clock tomorrow evening, there could be a few around, but less than we're seeing this afternoon and less than we'll probably get on Wednesday and Thursday. So I don't think you're going to have any big problems for the fireworks for the 4th of July. If you go out on the water tomorrow, should be a great day. Perfect to get away from the heat. West winds 10 knots, seas 2 feet or less. Bay and inland waters will have a light chop. The UV index 12, and it will be hot as a firecracker even at the beach. The air temperature 88, but with the humidity it'll feel in the 90s. And if you want to go in the water temperature almost 90 degrees. And here is your 4th of July outlook for afternoon and evening hours. 2 p.m. 87, mostly sunny skies, and by 6 p.m. 90, still warm, partly sunny skies, and by fireworks time 87 with a 30% chance of showers. That's what it looks like right now. And here's your 7-day outlook showing the chance of rain bumps up again on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And even Sunday, we get more of a seasonal average of 50% chance of rain, but tomorrow we're lucking out with only a 30% chance. Scott?
All right, Steve, thank you. New tonight from the state capitol, Governor Rick Scott is resuming executions after a more than 18-month hiatus. The governor rescheduling the execution for Mark Asay for August. He was originally scheduled to die last March for 2 murders committed in 1986, but it was put on hold after the U.S. Supreme Court found the state's death penalty law unconstitutional. Since then, the legislature has changed the law twice, most recently requiring a unanimous jury recommendation for the death penalty. Asay would be the 24th person executed since Scott took office in 2011. Here at home, a local nonprofit is looking to make sure no one goes hungry for the 4th of July. The Bauer Foundation kicking off its first annual Red, White, and Blue barbecue. According to a recent homeless census, Florida has among the highest rates of homelessness in the country. Manatee, Sarasota counties listed among the top counties in the state. Hamburgers, chips, hot dogs, and soda will be provided to those in need. There will even be some apple pie, too. The barbecue takes place tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock at the Joseph Storehouse Restoration Center in Bradenton.
Hi, I'm Linda Carson. Coming up, we'll take you back in time to 1926 and show you what Venice looked like then.
This week, President Trump takes the world stage. The high-stakes talks, from tackling trade and climate change to a critical face-to-face with Vladimir Putin. The world will be watching, and this is where America turns. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
When the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers bought up vacant land and built the city of Venice, they hired John Nolan to design it. And he laid out the city so well, more than 100 of those original buildings still stand today. And as ABC7's Linda Carson reports, that's one reason Venice is such a great place to call home.
Everybody's familiar with Venice Avenue, but just 1 block away is historic Burgundy Square. It's a unique collection of shops and restaurants, and the whole area looks very much like it did in 1926. That's the year the city of Venice was built by the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers. Seeing how well the new city was going, other investors jumped on the bandwagon and built these 4 buildings on Miami Avenue.
Mr. Thomas Green from St. Petersburg built a building here behind us. Has 10 apartments on the 2nd floor, had 5 offices, 4 stores, and in the end building right here in front of us, there was an arcade for garage where you could pull your Model T in and have it serviced out of the sun.
The next building was named after Bud Wimmers, the payroll clerk for the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers.
In 1929, in the Depression, and the Brotherhood pulled out of the project, Bud stayed behind as the receiver for the BLE Realty Corporation. He also became the person representative for the power company, water company, telephone. So if you wanted to buy a house in Venice, you went through Bud for everything.
Tenants in the third building have come and gone over the years.
From barber shop, the elementary school was there in the 1930s. There were 2 funeral homes that were located in that building.
And the last building was constructed in 1926 by Mrs. Lewis Lawton.
The interesting thing about that building was the windows were kind of built in a bayfront style, so the shopkeepers could put their wares in the windows for everyone to see.
Burgundy Square was made up of 4 distinctive buildings until a decade ago, when the spaces between them were filled in with shops, making it one continuous block. 2 years ago, a businessman committed to historic preservation bought out the entire block.
And wants to continue to build and renovate it in that manner so it retains its grandeur of the 1920s.
You can learn more about Burgundy Square in an article Larry Humes recently wrote for the Venice Gondolier. He says it's very important to Venice's future to preserve its past.
The whole city is our museum. That's the beauty of it. If you go to another city, or like Sarasota or Tampa, we have a building that says this is the way it used to look. This is the way it looked.
Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
A lot of great history there in Venice. And
here in Sarasota, you just got to know where to look for it.
Right.
They've torn down a lot of it, but there are a few gems left.
Shower's pretty much over, you think, for tonight?
Unless you're in Inglewood right now, there's one heading right at you, and but that'll be gone in another hour. Here's your 4th of July forecast. 9 p.m. fireworks time, a 30% chance there'll be a scattered shower. It's going to be warm and humid, but what else would you expect on the 4th of July?
Wow, even 87 at 9 p.m.
Yep.
Oh boy. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. World News Tonight with David Muir is next. Your next news at 7, and then again at 11.